I have had this for a bit now, and a few people ask me about it, so here is my take. If you are looking for a place to get yard tools, pool stuff, seasonal decorations, or bulky garage overflow out of your way, this kind of shed makes sense. It is for someone who wants something that can live outside full-time, deal with ugly weather, and not become a constant project. I keep mine in a sunny, hot, humid area, and it sits out in the open. It is not bobbied. What made this one stand out for me is that it is a plastic-style shed that does not feel flimsy once it is properly put together. A lot of sheds in this category look fine in photos and then feel like a big wobbling box in real life. This one feels more like a rigid structure, mostly because of how the roof is supported inside. From the outside, the panels have held their color better than I expected. Mine has been outside for about 4 years, getting constant sun and plenty of rain. I have walked around it a lot, and I do not see obvious fading or weird chalky patches that some outdoor plastics start to get. The roof is also still in good shape. No sagging that I can see, and no spots that look like they are starting to crack. Wind is the real test where I live. We get strong thunderstorms, and we usually deal with hurricanes on and off. This shed has been through a few hurricanes at this point, along with plenty of heavy rain and gusty weather in between. It has stayed standing, the doors still line up, and nothing has started rattling loose in a way that makes me think it is slowly falling apart. I am not saying it is indestructible, but I am saying it has handled the kind of weather that normally exposes weak sheds pretty quickly. The doors are one of those things you use every time, so they matter. On mine, the main door has a handle with a simple latch. It is the kind of latch you push down to open and close. It also has a spot where you can add a padlock if you want to lock it. The other door secures with pins at the top and bottom. In day-to-day use, that setup works fine. I usually open just the main door when I am grabbing something quick, and I open both doors when I am moving larger stuff in and out. After years of use, the doors still close without me having to shove them or lift them to get the latch to catch. Inside, the biggest practical feature for me is that it comes with a floor. That sounds basic, but it is a big deal because it changes how the shed feels to use. Mine is set on leveled gravel, and with the floor in place, I am not standing on rocks or dirt. It feels stable underfoot. I have stored heavy items in here, and the floor has not felt soft or warped. It has held up. If you look up at the ceiling inside, you can see the structure that is doing a lot of the work. There is metal reinforcement in the roof area, and there is a truss support across the top. That is not something I think about day to day, but I think it is part of why this thing has stayed solid through storms. When the wind is pushing, you want a roof that is not relying only on thin plastic to keep its shape. Lighting is better than I expected for a shed. There is a panel up top that lets daylight through, kind of like a simple skylight. It is not a real light, and there is no wiring, but it does make it easier to find things without having to bring a flashlight in the middle of the day. Mine also has a window, and it has taken hits from normal outdoor life without cracking. It looks like a tough, clear plastic rather than glass, and it lets in enough light that the shed does not feel like a dark closet. The walls have vertical slots built into them for shelving. I did not end up using the matching shelf system, since I already had my own shelving plan, but the wall design is genuinely useful. You can mount things where you want, and adjust later without having to fight the wall every time. There are also small corner shelves included. I use mine for lighter items. They hold up fine, but I treat them like shelves for spray bottles, gloves, and small stuff, not a place to stack heavy tools. Headroom is good. I am about 6 feet tall and I can walk around inside without ducking. That sounds minor until you are moving things around or organizing. The extra height makes it feel more usable, especially if you are carrying awkward items. Water resistance has been solid in real life, with one caveat. In heavy wind-driven rain, you can sometimes get a little moisture sneaking in around seams or near the doors. I have never had a serious puddle inside, and nothing has been soaked, but I also do not store things that would be ruined by a few drops right up against the door. If you keep cardboard boxes on the floor right by the entrance, you might be asking for trouble over time. I store items in plastic bins and keep sensitive stuff on shelves, and that has been enough. Setup was not terrible, but it is not a one-person job if you want it to go smoothly. When I put mine together, it took a couple of hours. The main thing is taking your time with the base and making sure everything is square. If the foundation is off, doors can get annoying later. Once it is assembled correctly, daily use is easy. The latch is simple. The floor makes it comfortable. The interior shape is straightforward for organizing. One thing to be aware of is that a shed this size becomes a catch-all if you let it. The space is great, but you will want at least a basic plan for how you store things. Otherwise, it turns into a pile. The built-in wall slots help with that if you take advantage of them. There are no smart features here and there is no mobile app. Personally, I am fine with that. A shed does not need software. I care more about doors that still close years later and a roof that does not start sagging after the first bad season. After living with it outside for years, my overall impression is that it has stayed stable. It has not faded in an obvious way, and it has done its job through sun, rain, and major storms. The strengths are the solid feel once built, the included floor, the reinforced roof structure, and the usable interior height and light. The limitations are that you still need a good base. You might see minor moisture in extreme wind-driven rain, and you should not expect it to be a vault. It is a practical outdoor storage space, and that is how I use it. I'll leave the details about the lifetime 60,075 8x15 FT outdoor storage shed in the comments for you to check out. See you in the next video.